All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. And what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They go play action here on 1st down. And he fins them off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
694.
From the gun, it's Carr. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Black 22! Black 22!
And they'll go on the ground. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
From the end zone, Watson trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Try to pound it in, Camara. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
And just one man in the backfield here. That's Camara, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Third down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. Throwing now is Carr, and this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Hey, Black 22! Black 22! You ain't going nowhere.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Trey Hendrickson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Black 99 Philly.
Indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a 1st down carry. It's Camara. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. 3rd down here.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Camara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
29.
Carr now on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. On the check down, he finds Kamara. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Carr to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This is Zach Ryan, the fullback. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Go. Get check. 6-18. Good.
Shotgun now for Carr. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away, maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Miller. Miller with first down and more. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to the end zone real fast.
Now it's Watson. Fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Sheldon Rankins coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Richmond.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up a third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they run a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now this time, Carl throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Arnold. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Operating from the gun. Carr. And that'll be incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. From the gun, Carr, catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Carr now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10.
Down, 280. Hey, Raider 2. Go Chief.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Saints on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Carr. And now another one thrown incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And here comes the Texans now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They begin with a run by Miller. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now this time he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball. And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Target.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Get down, get down. You ready? All right, we're good.
Carr now on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Get down, get down. You ready? Deuce right, Chief. Hey, 734. Hey, 734.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Arnold. 30. The 20. 10. 5. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Derek Carr, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And they wasted no time, right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind them.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. Twisting away. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Houston. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down. Not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the
pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Sheldon Rankins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Showed some flash on the run, but he will be brought down shy of his 10. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing throwing on third down. Watson. And the third down pass falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On play action, it's Carr. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll give him a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, Watson. Dumps it complete to Miller. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down. To throw is Watson. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 36 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. and he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football, he's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Escapes the sack. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep. Oh, and the defense loses him. It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And shedding through the tackle. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. They run it again with Kamara. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Carr. Buffalo's got the first down and then some. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Cover 0. Monday, down. 280. Deuce right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Shotgun now for Carr. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kevon Webster. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And oh my, mistake there. Backs up, takes a fair catch at the 3-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Try to lay one up deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. Sliding out of the pocket. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. A gain of 32 that time.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Jonathan Hankins able to get him for a loss of about 3. pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His sixth touchdown of the season. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Again with Miller. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Texans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Back to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. Caught left side, Hopkins. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He's back to throw. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller in the final minute. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back to throw. Throw left side taken in by Meredith. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first. One final try now for Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this one is right through. And that's going to tie things at 20. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Flush to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
First throw of overtime for Carr. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a 1st down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up, but in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. A busy night continues for Kamara. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Arnold. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Carr again. His throw's going to be incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Carr on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. He finds Roberts, complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Another chance to maybe end it right here. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And Lutz puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Saints, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.